Okay, so today I would like to reflect on what kind of vibe we should bring to the function. I have small notes in case I'm standing to rumble and speak nonsense. So follow me here. I'm using this term, right, bringing a vibe to the function. It's a very TikTok, Instagrammable concept, but it's a true question that I've been having lately in regards to how to best live in the world nowadays, knowing that this world keeps on giving disappointment, massacres, blah. So I want to start with this small disclaimer saying that if you want to bring no function to the vibe or no vibe to the function, please, that's respectful. That is something that I would not question. And it is also a very political and reactionary thing to do in times like this. To protect oneself, to protect one's emotion, to refuse the great refusal of our century. Yeah. So, in case you're someone like me who has a certain amount of energy and privilege and still feel energetical enough and hopeful enough to bring a vibe to the function, how should we do that? Okay, so now that this disclaimer on grief and, let's say, sadness has been mentioned, I want to focus on the question of agency in that topic. Because I really believe that it hasn't been the first time, and it will not be the last time, I hope, unless we all die soon, that we need to keep on existing as a society and as individual despite the horrendous things that are currently undergoing. And therefore, we have to wonder on a daily basis what kind of energy, what kind of flow, what kind of attitude we want to bring to the spaces we inhabit, the friends group we have, the relationship we have, etc. I do not want to get too broad into this right now. I do not want to talk about some sort of strategies. I don't want to do any self-coaching. I'll be smoking my vape from time to time. Do not do and replicate my gestures. Thank you. But I will just talk about 3 different attitudes that I've noticed currently in the people around me. And I want to just shortly comment on them. The first one, which is the one that I am trying to implement, which is very difficult, but I want to mention it in the beginning, is the vibe of fighting and working for what you care for what you believe in, for the projects you want to see in the world, for the critical insight you want to see in the world, and bringing a positive, energetical vibe to it, right? That's the most difficult one to do. Not everyone can do it. I don't think anybody do it really good, but it's what I aim for. Like, this is one of the positions that I aim to do, right? So not only striving for change, striving for the thing I believe in, and also implementing an energy that comes with it, bringing a vibe to the function that sort of supports these actions. That's the first one. The second one is doing exactly, oh my God. The second one is doing exactly the same thing, but. So what I say here is wanting to see change, working on your project, wanting to work for the things that you want to see developed, etc. But bringing a not so good energy to the function. Maybe being very desperate, maybe being very depressed, about the situation. And it's no one's fault to be depressed, right? But I think I'm talking about the energy right now, right? That is being implemented, the vibe. So yeah, someone who does not see the light in all of those things, or cannot see the light anymore. And that's very sad, but it happens to a lot of us. And sometimes it's phases too. But anyway, let's work with those categories here, right? First one, dedicated, playful, energetic. Second one, dedicated, tired, not optimistic. And the third one, and I'm sorry, I'm going to work with big stereotypes, is the one that does not even want to work for the thing that they wish to see happen, wish to see change, and are just, let's say, in their own zone of bringing a vibe that they think they should bring, but it's not exactly what they want to do, and that bring them happiness or not. I don't want to talk too much about that category because it actually does not relate so much to my own personal life, neither to the people that I see around me. Now that we have seen a little bit this sort of different, just these three categories / personality types, what I realized lately is that it's very unlikely that any of those people are going to change anything. It's very unlikely that any of those people are actually going to succeed. They might, but also they might not. Like, it's just not the really question. Like, I don't think one has a higher chance to get to where they want in life. The difference it makes, though, between these three people is not only, of course, the journey, cliché, I know, but it's what they get on the way while they bring the vibe to the function, okay? And what I want to say here with that is that in a world like the one we live in these days, the people who still can afford to give, to care, to be joyful, and to be optimistic, they are the ones that are somehow saving themselves and saving others around them. And I can say that for a fact because probably everyone has noticed in life how when you're doing good and when you're confident, and that is a very elitist thing to say, but it's true, when you're doing and you're confident, or even when you're performing that you're confident and you're not, you attract more things. And it's not even because of manifestation and stuff, it's just a matter of energy. People want to be surrounded by energies that inspire them, right? So, that goes to say that no matter what category you're in, the outcomes might all be the same. What might change, though, when we think about what vibe we want to bring to the function and to society, is the kind of connection, the kind of depth, and the kind of collaboration, care that you might be able to give if you are lucky enough to be able to find yourself in a place where you have this kind of energy. It's rare. It's rare. Not everyone has that all the time. People have phases. And I guess I'm not here sitting today to try to convince anybody to try to do that, but a metaphor that I'd often use to talk about those things is this one. I don't even know if the metaphor is a good word, but an artist, a writer, painter, whatever, that paints their entire life with a dedication and willingness might be bitter about the reception of their work, might be bitter about many things, but you better trust me that on the day they die, if they knew that they were bringing energy and vibes to what they were doing and that they were consistent with it, they will sleep towards death peacefully. I'm 100% sure of that. Because life is like this. You don't know if what you're going to do is going to make any difference at all. You don't know. But you want to believe that you tried your best. And I think this is a universal thing. On the contrary, people who tend to, I guess, give up or have a lot of regrets over the thing that they haven't done, I suppose I have a harder time living this world. And this is also what I tell myself sometimes. I always tell myself, it doesn't matter what happens. I'll be so fucking happy knowing I tried. I don't care running into walls. Like if I just tried my best and I knew this was my last attempt in friendship, romance, project, sometimes that drives me crazy, but if I knew I tried my best, I can sleep at night. Yeah. So, full circle back to the topic. What vibe do we want to bring to the function? On the good days, when I'm not on my period, for example, when I feel like life is giving me and I'm giving back and the people around me are supportive and stuff, I feel like I want to be in the first category, and I can be in the first category. On other days, I might be any of the other categories. People are not monolithic. Monolithic? No, we're not like that. But I think it's good to ask ourselves on a daily basis, like, what vibe do I want to bring to the function? And sometimes you don't want to bring any vibe. Because we're grieving. We're just grieving. No vibe to bring. But knowing that this life has to continue no matter what happens in politics, economics, and social injustices, I would argue from my very own and rather still immature experience on life, that bringing some sort of positive, trustful, and hopeful energy into projects, relationships, and things does bring something back. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. But that's how I feel about that. Yeah. That's it for today. I was still traveling a little bit, so hard to sit down and talk. But I kind of like this rhythm. It's just whenever I have the time to. I have so many stories to tell and like things to mention, but sometimes I just wake up and I know that's this one thing I want to talk about today. So I hope today we all can bring a sweet, caring, and gentle vibe to the function. Because if we don't, it means that they won. And when I mean they, I don't even know who I'm thinking about, but it just means that if we live in despair and fear and scarcity, it means they won. So it is the responsibility of people who are still privileged and comfortable enough, like me, for example, to try to bring a good vibe to the function. Yeah. That being said, see you next time.